that is a rabbit. You know, the animal rabbit. Now, let me present my PPT. Okay, PPT this here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sir.
Okay. Now, let us consider the digestive system in mammal. Here we are taking the example that is rabbit. So as you already know, when you see the digestive system, it shows the two components. The component number one is alimentary canal, and the component number two, it is the associated digestive gland. What is the meaning of alimentary canal? So alimentary canal, it is a tube of a variable diameter which starts at the anterior as a mouth and posterior end, it ends into the anus or the cloaca. So that tube is called as the alimentary canal. Okay, so that alimentary canal all along the length, though it shows the variable diameter, the various parts are formed. So for example, from the mouth, it is further converted into the mouth cavity, then the pharyngeal cavity. So in common we call it as the buccal cavity. Then it continues into the esophagus. Further, it shows the dilation into the stomach. Again, it shows the coiled portion, that is the small intestine, then large intestine, and finally it opens into the anus. So that tube is known as the alimentary canal. Okay. Now let us consider the associated digestive gland. So this entire alimentary canal, it is associated, meaning it is attached with the digestive gland. What is the main function of the digestive gland? It helps or it assists the process of the digestion. So it is associated digestive gland. So in the buccal cavity, associated digestive gland is present. We call it as the salivary gland, as well as some mucous glands are also there. Then another one, these are the largest gland, that is liver. Okay, liver lobes are there, dark brown colored gland. It also helps in the process of the digestion. Then this gland, that is the pancreas. So pancreas is another gland. So these glands, that is the pancreas, liver, and the salivary gland, these glands remain outside the alimentary canal. Okay, and secrete their secretion or pour their secretion into the alimentary canal. So these are the digestive glands. Well, some of the digestive glands, say for example, the intestinal gland present in the intestine, Brunner's gland. So these glands, intestinal glands, you know that these are present in the intestinal mucosa, known as the crypts of liver. So these glands present into the mucosa and it secretes their secretion into the lumen, which is helping in the process of the digestion. Okay, so this is all about regarding the alimentary canal and the associated digestive gland. So here the figure of the rabbit is shown. The section of the rabbit is shown. Okay, so in that alimentary canal it is shown, which is starting from the mouth, then it further continues into the esophagus, then esophagus further continues into this dilated chamber, that is stomach. From the stomach onward, here the small intestine is started. Small intestine, it is highly coiled. Further it forms such a spirally coiled structure which is called as the cecum, and further it is converted into the large intestine. So it is slightly dilated than the small intestine. Further, this large intestine is converted into the rectum. Okay, and this rectum, it opens at the base of the tail with the help of the anus. This is regarding the alimentary canal. Now here the entire figure is diagrammatic. So these two structures are shown here. These are the salivary gland. Okay, actually 4 pair of salivary glands are there in case of a rabbit. So this is first salivary gland. This is the position of the salivary gland here, which secrete their secretion into the buccal cavity. Then these are the lobes of the liver. Okay, that is right and left lobe is further subdivided. So totally 5 lobes are there. So this is second gland. The third one, this is the pancreas. Okay, so this is the pancreas, which is located in the loop of the stomach and the duodenum. Okay, so these are the three glands. Now come to the very first structure of the alimentary canal, that is the mouth. Okay, now consider the information of the mouth. If you see the mouth, this is the animal rabbit. If you see the mouth is located in subterminal position. Subterminal. It is not exactly terminal position, but it is subterminal. It is slightly present toward the lower side, so it is called as the subterminal. So mouth is subterminal and it is bordered with the help of the fleshy and movable lips. You are having the lips in the same fashion. The rabbit is also having movable lips. Then the upper lip, it is showing the median cleft. So the upper lip, it shows median cleft. Here cleft is formed. Cleft meaning a cut is there in the upper lip. So due to that cut, the inner incisors, they are visible. Okay, incisors are visible due to the cut to the upper lip when the mouth is closed. So when the rabbit closes his mouth, you can able to observe the upper lip. Why you can see the upper lip? Because the upper lip is notched. So you can see the inside incisors. So this is regarding the mouth. Now come to the another structure, that is vestibule. What is the vestibule? Vestibule, it is the space which is bounded externally by the lips and the cheeks, and it is internally by the gums and the jaws. Okay, म्हणजे तुमचे जे काही गाल आहेत आणि ओठ आहेत त्याच्या आतमधली जी जागा आहे, ओके, ही जी गम म्हणजे आपल्या जे काही हिरड्या आहेत आणि जॉज आहेत या मधली जी काही स्पेस आहे, म्हणजे गाल आपण ओढल्यानंतर आपल्याला जी काही कॅव्हिटी दिसते, स्पेस दिसते. ओके, so that entire space, this space is called as the vestibule. Okay, do you get the meaning of the vestibule? Now come to the next point, that is the buccal cavity. First come to this figure. So this is the figure which show the bucopharyngeal cavity. Bucopharyngeal meaning buccal cavity and the pharyngeal cavity, these are united, so it is converted into the bucopharyngeal cavity. Now this is the open structure of the buccal cavity, that is mouth is open. So this one is the upper jaw and this one is the lower jaw. Okay, so this is the cleft which is present here, so that you can able to observe the incisor. Then this is the upper lip. The structure is called as the upper lip, this muscular structure, and this structure is called as the lower lip. Okay, this one is the lower lip and this one is the upper lip. Here the fine hairs are seen. These are called as the vibrissae, which are sensitive to the touch. These are the vibrissae, ज्याला आपण मिशा म्हणतो. Okay, म्हणजे मांजर वगैरे बघितल्यानंतर तुमच्या लक्षात असेल, when you see the cat, you can easily observe these vibrissae. Then this one is the upper jaw. This upper jaw, it shows the presence of these teeth. So these are the premolars and the molars. This is the position of the incisor teeth. And this one is the lower jaw. Lower jaw is also provided with the teeth, that is the premolar and molar. Here these are the incisor. On the floor there is a presence of the tongue. Here is a muscular reddish color tongue is present along with the papillae. So these are the papillae. Papillae, these are provided with the taste bud. So animal can able to taste the food. Then at the angle of the jaw, this is the angle of the jaw. At the angle of the jaw, here the tonsils are seen. Tonsils are seen, and the larger opening it is seen. It is known as the gullet. Okay. Here these are the another two openings. These are called as the eustachian opening, meaning these are the openings of the middle ear. Okay. So now this area, the roof of the buccal cavity or the bucopharyngeal cavity, it is formed by the upper jaw, while this is a floor of the lower jaw, which is formed by the palate. Okay, so this roof, it is also called as the palate. So this palate, it is divided into the two structures or the two types. This anterior portion of the palate, it is hard. If you touch your tongue,
स्लाइड दिसत नाहीये सर.
नाही दिसत. ओके ओके, बरं लवकर सांगितलं तुम्ही. ओके सर. हां बोला बोला की बोला की बोला. लेक्चर 12:30. हो हो हो. हां ओके. आता दिसते का?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
दिसते ना? ओके. आता ही स्क्रीन मी मोठी करतो. दिसते?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the figure of the rat. The longitudinal section through the body is shown, which shows the presence of this entire system, that is the digestive gland. So this one is the alimentary canal, that is the tube, and these are the associated gland, that is salivary gland.
हे दिसत होतं सर, याच्यानंतरची स्लाइड दिसत नव्हती, कॅन्सल झालेलं ते.
याच्यानंतर जी दिसत होती काय?
हा
दिसते
ते
ना?
समजलं. हा 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 दिसते.
दिसते ना? ओके.
हा
Now this is the buccopharyngeal cavity. Okay, buccopharyngeal cavity, it is formed by the buccal cavity and the pharyngeal cavity. So when these these are mixed, okay, these are not separate cavities, then we call it as the buccopharyngeal cavity. So these are the common cavity. So this is the upper jaw and this one is the lower jaw. Upper jaw, here it is also provided with the upper lip. You see the upper lip. Upper lip, it is notched here, vertical cleft is seen here. So you can easily observe the incisors of the animal, and these are the vibrissae which are attached to the upper lip, which are sensitive to touch. Okay, now this is the actual jawbone, upper jawbone. It is provided with the teeth. These are the incisor. Then here is a gap, there is no any teeth. Then premolars and molars, these are observed here. Okay, now this is the lower jaw. Lower jaw is provided with the lower lip. This is the jawbone. On the jawbone, the molars and premolars are there. Then here you can see the incisors. Okay, canines are not there. Canines are not visible, or canines are absent here. Then this is the roof of the buccal cavity. It is called as the palate, and this palate is divided into the two regions. So this is the anterior portion of the palate. It is very hard. If you touch your tongue to the anterior portion of the palate, स्वतःची तुमची जीभ आहे, ती जीभ वरच्या बाजूला टेकवा. त्या ठिकाणी जो पुढचा जो भाग आहे पॅलेटचा, तो हार्ड आहे आणि त्याच्यावर आपल्याला रेगा दिसतात आडव्या. जीभ टेकवली का? टेकून बघितली का तुम्ही तुमच्या पॅलेटला? हॅलो हॅलो आपले?
Yes, sir.
येस सर.
Yes, sir.
हा,
हो.
स्वतःची जीभ पुढच्या बाजूला टेकून बघायची पॅलेटला. तिथे
Hard
आपल्याला
आहे.
रेगा आणि रिजेस दिसतात, दॅट इज हार्ड पॅलेट. परंतु ती जीभ जर तुम्ही पाठीमागच्या थोड्याशा बाजूला नेली तर तो जो काही भाग आहे तो थोडासा सेन्सिटिव्ह आहे. ओके, आणि तो सॉफ्ट आहे. सो इट इज नोन एज दी सॉफ्ट पॅलेट. So this region, it is called as the soft palate, and this region is called as the hard palate. So such palate, it is also present is in the mammal, that is in case of the human as well as in case of the rabbit. If you see this lower jaw, here the floor of the lower jaw, it is occupied by the tongue. So tongue is muscular, it is somewhat pinkish in color, and it is also provided with the taste buds on the papillae. So these are the papillae provided with the taste buds. Then if you see the openings into the buccal cavity or the buccopharyngeal cavity, then the first opening, it is seen here on the roof of the upper jaw. It is the nasopalatine duct. Okay, nasopalatine duct. Then another opening, if you see here, these are the two openings. These openings are called as Eustachian opening. That is opening of the middle ear. Then at the center here, two openings are there. One is a gullet and another one is the glottis. Glottis is protected by the epiglottis. Okay, so gullet, through this gullet, it is wide opening, food enters into the esophagus, and through this glottis, air enters into the trachea. Okay, so the opening is protected by the epiglottis. Okay, so this is all about regarding the buccopharyngeal cavity. Now, see here the information of the buccal cavity. So buccal cavity, it consists of the first structure, that is the palate, and the second structure, that is the tongue. If you see this palate it forms the roof, and the anterior part, it is rough, and it shows some horizontal lines. Okay, it is known as the hard palate, which divides the buccal cavity into the nasal passages. So this is the initial passage. It is called as the nasal passage above, and the food passage, it is located to the lower side. Now the posterior part, the soft part, it is flexible. It is a fleshy, and it is known as the soft palate. Okay, and at the base of the soft palate or at the posterior end, ulva is present. Ulva, ज्याला आपण पडजीप असं म्हणतो. Ulva म्हणजे पडजीप. Okay, so the ulva is present. It is hanging freely. If you open your mouth in front of your mirror, you can able to see this ulva. Then come to the tongue. Tongue is large structure. It is mobile, meaning it is movable as it is muscular. Then the anterior end, it is somewhat rounded, while it is on the lateral side, that is on the upper jaw and the lower jaw, the teeth are present. If you see the teeth, in case of the mammal, the three conditions of teeth are observed. The first condition is thecodont, meaning teeth are directly articulated into the jawbone. Teeth are articulated into the jawbone. This condition is called as the thecodont condition. Then, second condition is the diphodont. Di meaning the two set of teeth, milk teeth and the permanent teeth. And heterodont, meaning all teeth are not similar. There are four types of teeth, that is incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Okay, so four types of teeth are present on the jaw. So this condition is known as the heterodont. Now come to the dental formula. Here, what is the meaning of the dental formula? The dental formula, it means the total number of the teeth which are present in the jaw or on the jawbone. Okay, it is known as the dental formula. So dental formula, it is written as, here initially is written I, then here is the C, P, M, and M. Here I stand for the initial letter of incisor, C for canines, premolars, and the molars. Okay, now come to the incisor. Here 2 divided by 1, it is shown here. 2, here upper figure, it indicates the number present in the upper jaw. Lower figure, it indicates the number of the tooth present in the lower jaw. Okay, so incisors in the upper jaw, there are 2 incisors which are shown here on the half side. So here half side is considered half portion of the jawbone. So 2 incisor on the upper jaw and 1 incisor on the lower jaw. Then you come to the canine. Here canine, it is written as 0, 0. So there is no any canine present. Here the space is vacant, it is without any teeth. This is the space which is vacant. So this vacant space, it indicates that the canines are absent. Come to the premolar. So on the upper jaw, 3 premolars are present. Onto the lower jaw, 2 premolars are present. Now count here. So these initial 3, these are the 3 premolars. Okay, and here initial 2, these are the premolars. Okay, now come to the molar teeth. Chala आपण दाढा म्हणतो, that is molar teeth. So in upper lip, in upper jaw 3, and in lower jaw 3. Now here in the upper half, so these are the 3 molar teeth on both the sides. So 3 plus 3, and here on the lower jaw, here again, these are the 3 molar teeth. Okay, so these are the teeth which are present. When you count these teeth, that is, if you count the total teeth, for example, this number 2, then this number 0, number 3 premolar and 3 molar. So here 2, 0, 3, 3 on the upper half. Then on the lower half, that is 1, 0, 2 and 3. Okay, 1, 0, 2, 3. So these are the teeth which are present in the half portion of the jawbone. So if you see the count, 3 plus 3 plus 2, okay, that is total 8. So 8 plus 8. So there are totally 16 teeth are present in the upper jaw. Well, you consider the lower jaw, that is 5 plus 1, that is 6. 6 plus 6, that is 12 teeth present in the lower jaw. So 16 plus 12. Okay, what is the total? 16 plus 12. What is the total?
28.
Okay, so it is written as the total number of the teeth in the rabbit, it is 28. Okay, so in case of the human being, this number is, what is the number in human?
32.
32. Okay, now come to the next point, that is the pharyngeal cavity. So the posterior part of the buccal cavity is known as the pharynx. It is having the soft palate. And the soft palate divides into the pharynx divides into the 3 parts. Now, which are these 3 parts? That is the nasopharynx, that is the first part. Then the oropharynx, it is the second part, and the laryngopharynx, it is the third part. So here, initial portion of the soft palate, it is called as the nasopharynx. So these nasopharynx, dorsally it is soft. Okay, oropharynx, behind the nasopharynx, oropharynx is there. It is also provided with the soft palate, and both they communicate. Naso and oro, they communicate behind or to the posterior side with the laryngopharynx. You know the meaning of the larynx? Larynx, it is known as the voice box, where the voice is produced. Okay. Now laterally to the nasopharynx, there is a pair of eustachian opening. Pair of opening is present. It is the eustachian opening, that in middle ear, it open by the eustachian opening. While the laryngopharynx, it shows a vertical slit-like glottis. Okay, so this glottis, it guarded by the epiglottis. Glottis is protected with the epiglottis, so that no any fluid particle further passes into the glottis and into the sound box further into the trachea. So this behind this glottis, a wide aperture is there. It is called as the gullet. So this gullet, here in the gullet, the food enters, and that from that gullet, food further carried to the pipe. That pipe is known as the esophagus, or that tube is known as the esophagus. Okay. Have you seen this figure? ही figure तुम्हाला दिसते का? Figure दिसते ना?
Yes, sir. दिसतीये.
Okay. Now come to this figure. Here, food enters into this tube. That tube is known as the esophagus. So this esophagus, it is somewhat narrow muscular tube, okay, which starts from the buccopharyngeal cavity onward. Okay. Now this is esophagus. Esophagus, then it unites with the stomach. Okay. The stomach, it is slightly horizontal one. Stomach, it is slightly horizontal one. Here, when esophagus is open into the stomach, that entry is protected by the esophageal wall. Then this portion is called as the stomach. This stomach, it further bent, it is converted into the pyloric stomach, and this pyloric stomach, here again, there starts the small intestine. So the cardiac stomach and the pyloric stomach, they remain parallel with each other. And here sphincter wall is present, it is called as the pyloric constriction or the pyloric wall. Then from this pyloric sphincter onward, there start the small intestine. So this is the first portion of the small intestine, it forms the U-shaped loop. This portion is called as the duodenum. So this tube, it is known as the duodenum. This duodenum is further converted into the jejunum. So this region is called as the jejunum. Jejunum is further converted with the highly coiled structure. It is called as the ileum. Okay. Now, this ileum, it is much longer structure. It is much longer tube, and this ileum, it becomes wide and it opens into the large intestine. So this wide structure, it is called as the saculus rodentus. Okay, and further it is attached to the cecum. So cecum, it shows the spirally twisted structure, a spring-like structure you can see. So this spring-like horizontal structure, it is known as the cecum. And from the cecum onward, there a structure of 5 to 6 centimeter longer structure, tubular structure arises, which is called as the vermiform appendix. Okay, then from the cecum here, where the saculus rodentus is there, from that opposite end, the colon is started. So here a sphincter wall is present and colon is started. So this colon, it is dilated. It shows the ridges or the furrows on the surface. It is dilated than that of the ileum. And this colon is further converted into the beaded and very narrow structure. This beaded and narrow structure is known as the rectum. So here, this bead, inside bead, it indicates that the fecal matter in a bead-shaped fashion, which is present inside. Okay, so it is called as the fecal pilates. And this rectum, it opens out with the opening that is called as the anus. Okay, now come to the next structure, that is the esophagus. Come to the esophagus. Esophagus, slide दिसते का सगळ्यांना?
हो सर दिसतीये.
Okay, so this esophagus,
हो सर.
it is a long tube, it is muscular, and it runs through the neck. So it passes through the neck, and further it pierces the diaphragm. So here one structure is shown, it is diaphragm. So diaphragm, it is present in the mammals. What is the diaphragm? It is the fold of skin. It is a muscular fold. Sorry, it is a muscular fold which divides the thoracic cavity into the abdominal cavity. So the thoracic cage, it is gets separated from the abdominal cage, and in the thoracic cage, the vital organs like the lung and heart is present in the thoracic cage, and it is protected with the help of the ribs. While in the abdominal cavity, the remaining viscera is there. So the diaphragm, it is pierced through this esophagus, and this esophagus, it joins with the stomach into the abdominal cavity. Now come to the stomach. So this region is called as the stomach. So stomach, it is much a broader part. It is located on the left side of the abdominal body cavity. It shows inner concave surface. Inner surface is concave surface, while the outer surface, it is the convex surface. And this anterior part of the stomach, it is known as the cardiac stomach, while the posterior part, it is known as the pyloric stomach. This anterior region, it receives the esophagus, and at the junction of the esophagus and the cardiac stomach, a cardiac valve is present. Now the posterior part, it is known as the pyloric stomach, and at the junction of this duodenum and the pyloric stomach, a sphincter wall is present. It is called as the pyloric sphincter. Okay, then this cardiac and the pyloric opening. So this is the cardiac opening, this one is the pyloric opening. These cardiac and the pyloric opening, they remain close with each other, meaning one opening is present here and another opening is present here. So both the openings are much close with each other. Now come to the small intestine. This region, entire coiled portion, is known as the small intestine. So this small intestine, it is a long tube, it is narrow, and it is convoluted, or it is coiled tube. It is further divided into 3 regions. Okay, so the first region of the small intestine, so this region, it is known as the duodenum, which form the U-shaped loop. And this duodenum, which form the U-shaped loop, here inside this U, it shows the presence of the one gland. That gland is called as the pancreas. Okay, so the pancreas is present in this U-shaped loop. Then the next part is started. It is known as the jejunum. Okay, there is no much difference between the jejunum and the ileum. Only one difference is that the Brunner's gland, there is intestinal gland, which is called as the Brunner's gland. The number of the Brunner's gland is much more into the jejunum than the ileum. So, what is the difference between jejunum and ileum? That is, in jejunum, the more Brunner's glands are present than that of the ileum. Okay, so this is regarding the duodenum and the jejunum. Now come to the ileum. So here, when you see this ileum and the jejunum, it externally appears similar. And it is about, the jejunum is about, jejunum and the ileum is about 2-meter longer structure. It is coiled, and the distal end, this is the distal end, it is expanded structure into the sacculus rodentus. Okay, the sacculus rodentus, it open into the cecum. So this is the cecum, spirally coiled structure. So it opens into the cecum, and here that the opening point valve is present. That valve is called as ileocecal valve. Here valve is present, it is called as ileocecal valve. The mucosa, mucosa shows many villi. You know the meaning of the villi? Finger-shaped projections which are given out by the mucosa, which increases the area for the absorption of food material, then the secretion of the digestive juices, and it increases the area for the digestion purpose. So the number of villi and the intestinal gland, these are much more into the jejunum than into this ileum. Now come to the cecum. So this structure, the spirally coiled structure, it is called as the cecum. The entire length of the cecum is about 50 centimeter. Length of the cecum is about 50 centimeter in rabbit. At the junction of the ileum and the colon, at the junction of the ileum and colon, it shows the spiral constriction. So this spiral constriction, it shows the presence of the inner spiral wall. So inside the spiral wall is present, and further it terminates into this a worm-like blind structure. So this worm-like blind structure, it is called as the vermiform appendix. So this cecum, this entire cecum, it helps to break down the cellulose. So this spring-like structure, inner spiral wall is there. This is useful for the breakdown of the cellulose. Herbivorous, rabbit is herbivorous animal. So cellulose is broken down into the cecum by the bacterial action. Now come to the large intestine. This large intestine, it shows the two regions. This is the first region of the large intestine, which is called as the colon. It is 15 centimeter in length. And the second structure, it is the beaded structure, it is called as the rectum. So colon it is a wider, and the surface, it shows the constricted wall. So the structure is called as the colon, where the undigested food material enters. Then this is the rectum. The rectum, it is longer, it is about 75 centimeter longer structure, and it shows the beaded manenची जशी माळ आपल्याला दिसते. So it look like as the beaded structure. Okay, so the rectum, it is beaded. And why it is beaded? Because it inside it shows the fecal pilates. Fecal pilates are present inside. Now this rectum, it opens by the anal aperture. Okay, so the rectum opens outside with the help of the anus and at the base of the tail. So this anal aperture, it is also protected. It is also guarded with the help of the sphincter wall. Okay. Now come to the digestive gland. Again, look here into this figure. The two digestive glands which are shown here in this figure. That is the liver, this is the first one, and this one is the pancreas. Now let us consider, here is the outline of the liver. As usual, liver, it consists of the right lobe and the left lobe. If you see this left lobe, this left lobe, it is further subdivided. This is the left lateral lobe. This is left lateral lobe. This is a left central lobe. So that is the division of the lobe. Okay. This one is the right lobe of liver. This is one division, right central lobe. Okay. Again, the right lobe is further divided into this is a smaller lobe which is shown here. It is called as the Spigelian liver lobe. It is called as the Spigelian liver lobe, which is shown here. It means the right lobe and the left lobe of the liver, it is get divided. Again, the caudal lobe is there. This is the caudal. On the caudal side, this caudal lobe is there. So these are the subdivisions of the liver lobe. Here, if you see, this is the pouch-like structure. It is the gallbladder, and it is having the cystic duct. From the liver lobes, the hepatic ducts, these are the hepatic ducts, they come out, further fuse with the cystic duct, and it form the common bile duct. This common bile duct, it opens into the pyloric, at the pyloric end. That is, it opens into the duodenum in front of the pyloric sphincter. Then, pancreas. If you see the pancreas, it is diffuse gland. It is present in the U-shaped loop. This gland, these ducts are called as the pancreatic duct. Okay, so the pancreas produces the pancreatic juice, and this pancreatic juice, it further poured into the duodenum. Okay, so this is regarding the pancreas. Now, further come to the very first digestive gland, that is the salivary glands. Now, see here another figure which shows the section of the head showing the internal structure. Okay, figure दिसेगा सर्वांना? Katri, figure दिसेगा?
Yes, sir. दिसती है.
Okay. Now, this is the head portion of the rabbit. Okay. This is the pharyngeal cavity. This is the mouth. Here on the lower side, here tongue is present. This white structure is tongue. These are the premolars and the molars. Okay. This is the nasal passage. Okay. This one is the nasal passage. Here the eye is shown. Okay. Now you concentrate on the salivary glands. In case of the rabbit, there are 4 pairs of salivary glands are present. Now here, look at this gland. So this is the first gland. This is the gland. It is called as this gland. Here actually, this gland, it is known as the infraorbital gland. This gland, it is known as the infraorbital gland. This is another gland. It is called as the carotid gland. This is the third gland. It is called as the submaxillary gland. It is also known as the submandibular gland. And this one is the fourth gland. It is called as the sublingual gland. So all these glands, that is gland number 1, 2, 3, and 4. All these glands, these are paired structure. So these are present in pairs. Okay. Their secretion. So this is the gland. Their secretion is carried by the duct system. Here is the gland. The secretion again is carried by the duct system. Okay. And with the help of the duct, the secretion, that is the saliva, it is poured into the buccopharyngeal cavity. So that saliva, it is get mixed with the food. Okay. You know the role of the saliva. You have studied the role of the saliva in your BSc first standard. Now come to this gland. The first gland, it is the parotid gland. So this is the parotid gland. So the parotid gland is the largest gland. Parotid, it is the larger gland. It is present at the base of pinna. This is the pinna. This one is the pinna. So it is located at the base of pinna. And it opens behind the upper incisor. The duct, it opens here to the upper incisor. So these are the incisor teeth. So behind the incisor teeth, this parotid gland, it opens with the help of the duct system. Now, second, infraorbital. Here, this is the infraorbital paired gland. infraorbital, it is present below the orbit. Orbit meaning the eye orbit. This is the eye orbit. Here some glands are shown here. These glands are actually the lacrimal gland and the Herderian glands. So the lacrimal gland and the Herderian gland, these are associated with your eyes. Okay, ज्याला आपण अश्रू ग्रंथी म्हणतो. Okay, so the lacrimal gland produces their secretion, watery secretion, it is poured into the here eyes, while the Herderian gland, it secretes some oily secretion into the eyes, which protects the eye. So these glands are associated with the eyes. So third gland, it is the submandibular. Here submandibular, but label is given as the submaxillary. So there are two names, that is submandibular is also correct and submaxillary, it is also correct. So the submandibular, it is largest gland. Submandibular, it is the largest gland and it is located at the angle of the lower jaw. This is the lower jaw. So at the angle of the lower jaw, this gland is present. While the secretion is carried by the duct system, that duct is called as the Bratton's duct, and this duct, it opens at the free end. This is the free end of the tongue. It opens at the free end part of the tongue, and the this submaxillary gland, it opens close to the lower incisor. This is the incisor teeth. So close to the incisor teeth, the submaxillary or submandibular gland, it opens. The fourth one, it is the sublingual. So this gland, sub meaning below, lingual meaning the tongue. So the gland which is present below the tongue, it is called as the sublingual gland. So this gland, with the help of the many duct, with the help of this duct system, it opens below the free part of the tongue. This is the free end of the tongue. This is the fixed end of the tongue. That is, tongue is attached posteriorly and it is free anteriorly. So at the anterior end, this sublingual gland, it opens. So all these salivary glands, it secrete a particular secretion. That secretion is alkaline and it is a water-like. So it is alkaline watery fluid. So that alkaline watery fluid, we call it as the saliva. Okay. And that saliva, it contains enzymes. Inside the saliva, enzymes are present. So that enzyme is called as the ptyalin enzyme. This ptyalin, it converts starch. Starch is converted into the maltose. Okay. So this is all about regarding the salivary glands. Now come to the another two glands, that is the liver and the pancreas. I already told you the liver, it is partly divided, that is right lobe and the left lobe is divided. So total 5 lobes are there. That is on the left side, the left lobe is divided into the 3, while on the right side, the right lobe is divided into the 2 lobes. So the left 3 lobes, it includes the small Spigelian lobe, then the left lateral lobe and the left central lobe. So these are the 3 left lobes and the 2 right lobes, that is right central and the caudal lobe. Okay, so these are the division and the subdivisions of the right and the left lobe. So on the surface of this right central lobe, on the right central lobe, there is present somewhat elongated bladder. This elongated green colored bladder, it is called as the gall bladder. So this gall bladder, it temporarily stores the secretion of liver, that is the bile. Okay, so liver secretes bile and the hepatic ducts from each liver lobe, they collect the bile and it unite with the cystic duct of the bladder and it is converted into the common bile duct, and this common bile duct, it opens into the proximal arm or the initial portion of the duodenum. So secretion of the liver, that is the bile, it is poured into the proximal portion of the duodenum. Okay, now come to the pancreas. So it is the last gland. So pancreas, I have shown in the figure. This pancreas is located in the U-shaped loop, okay, of the duodenum. It is irregular, it is branched, and it is pink colored gland. Okay, It shows the two parts, that is the exocrine part and the endocrine part. Exocrine part, it is formed by the pancreatic acinar, and this pancreatic acinar shows the presence of the acinar cells, which secretes the pancreatic juice and which contain all three types of enzymes. That is protein digesting enzyme, that is the trypsinogen, carbohydrate digesting enzyme is the amylase, and the fat splitting enzyme is the lipase. So all three types of enzymes are present into the pancreatic juice, which are secreted by the pancreatic acinar, which digest the respective food material. Why? The endocrine part of the pancreas, it is located in between the acinar in the section. If you see the section of the pancreas, in between the acinar, okay, so in between the follicles, here the group of cells are present. These group of cells are called as the islets or Langerhans. So this is the name. So Langerhans is the discoverer who discovered these cells, so named as the islets of Langerhans, which secretes the hormone. You know the meaning of the hormones? Hormones, these are the substances which are directly released into the blood. Okay, there is no any duct system is provided. So these are directly released into the blood. These hormones are the insulin and the glucagon. You know that insulin decreases blood sugar level and the glucagon increases the blood sugar level. So these both the hormone, it plays very important role in the metabolism of the carbohydrate. One decreases sugar while another increases the sugar level. So the proper balance of the sugar, the proper balance of this sugar, it is maintained in the body of animal with the help of this endocrine secretion of the pancreas. Okay, so this is all about regarding the digestive system in case of the mammals. Next time we'll pass on towards the comparative account. That is, I will show you the chart and we see the comparison between the, say for example, the bigopharyngeal cavity in fish, then in amphibia, then in reptiles, in birds, and the mammal. Now, what are the changes which are present there? Okay. So in exam, in the question, generally the two classes are used for the differentiation. Say for example, compare the digestive system of reptiles with the mammals, or compare the digestive system of mammal with the amphibia, or compare the digestive system of fishes to the amphibia. असा कंपॅरिझनचा जो काही प्रश्न आहे, कंपॅरेटिव्ह अकाउंटचा प्रश्न तुम्हाला परीक्षेमध्ये जनरली विचारला जातो. हा तुम्हाला फुल क्वेश्चन असतो, म्हणजे लॉंग आन्सर क्वेश्चन म्हणून तो विचारला जातो. बाकी मग ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह जे आहे ते ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह जनरली तुम्हाला एमसीक्यू मध्ये या विचारल्या जातात. ओके, बरं. Any difficulty?
No, sir.
You have any difficulty?
No, sir.
Difficulty?
No, sir.
सर ही पीपीटी सेंड करा ना आम्हाला.
हो सर, जी सर.
हॅलो सर. हॅलो सर.
हॅलो.
हॅलो सर.
सर.
हॅलो सर.
हॅलो.
सरांचं बहुतेक नेट गेलंय.
सर लेफ्ट झाले आणि
हा
मेसेज करूया सरांना.
हा चालतंय.